Boom, there we go. All right, so tonight's session, well, this isn't exactly a session. We're just going to be doing our analysis, sort of like planning our weekly trades, our trades rather for the week, and just looking at some of the markets that have some potential for us to actually extract some pips out of. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the higher probability, sort of like trade setups that we can expect, and just doing the right sort of planning for this entire week. So we're just going to be doing the majors, right? I've already broken down some of the more lucrative looking markets, if you can put it like that, and therefore I'll just start off with them just to save time, because we don't have a lot of time for us to actually do this. Okay, so because we still have like other sessions with the trading team and stuff like that. So right, so Euro USD right now, we're looking at the daily time frame, like looking at the daily chart on the Euro USD. Current price is 12.13.7. Okay, so 112.13.7, and the market has been in a downward trend for quite a bit of time. Now we have seen a bit of a retracement to the upside, okay, after a short spike to the downside to around 10.15. Okay, so around 10.15. Right over there. Okay, that's around 10.15. Okay, but exact price, turning price is 10.26. Okay, so 10.26 is the exact turning price. So what we're going to be doing then is sort of like looking at where the market actually is right now and where we'd like to see it go. So we're just planning out our trades normally, looking at our support as well as resistance. So we have a major support structure at 14.12, and we have a secondary one at around, I think this is 12.87. Okay, so 12.87, and we do see a moving average at around that area as well, 12.87, as well as a 200 moving average. And it does seem like 12.87 has been a bit of a significant support structure or support level previously, before the market broke down and retested that area again, and therefore we'd like to see a bit of resistance at that level. Okay, so if we look closely here on the 4 hour, so on the 4 hour, we see a bit of a spike towards the downside from this low over here. Okay, let me change that from a white to black. Okay, now we have this swing low. Boom, market came in, spiked that swing low right over there. I think this is 15.50, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. 11.50. Yeah. Right, so it's 11.66, beg your pardon. And we have a bit of a spike to the downside, and you can see that the market has been making these highs but not breaking them. Okay, and we have a break on the lower level at 11.66. If you look at the 11.66, it's this previous area here as well. Okay, and somewhere close to this high of the week of the 29th of July. Okay, so 29th of July, the high was 11.61, which is just where the market touched today. Okay, so we should see, we'd like to see some upward momentum on the euro dollar to these upper levels, probably 12.87. Then we decide whether the market is heading upwards. Now we do see that we had a break below the moving average as well, market closed below moving average and then bounced off, and we're hoping for a break to the upside. Right now it's in consolidation, so it's really difficult to tell, but we're hoping for one more push to the upside to around 12.87 for us to see what the price action will do once it gets there, right? So that really looks like a decent level for us to go short again, because like I said, we are still short long term on the euro dollar until further notice. Okay. Right, some of these charts are just messed up, guys, so please forgive me. I'm using a different MT4, well, different laptop altogether. So, okay, now we're on our GBP NZD. Okay, that's GBP NZD. We did have a look at it a few weeks back, and we isolated this area here, which is 87.32, somewhere around there, as our short area because of actual structure. We had this previous low over here. Boom, market tagged that, right? And didn't quite reach our initial target, okay, well, our secondary target of 81.54, okay, but from that low to the first target, which is at 83.80, we got about 330 pips from that one. Missed out on about 200 pips, okay, not a big deal though. And right now, if you look at how the market looks right now, I mean, we're still in a bearish tone. Okay, so I like to see a bit more push to the downside. So I certainly won't be taking any buys on this one. Right, we'll let the buys slide, if you may, and the shorts, I'll be looking at some key areas. Okay, so some key areas where the market can give us some sort of a signal that we can potentially drop. Definitely we'll be looking, right? So immediate area would certainly be 98, 90.80, okay? So 908 even. That's certainly an area where I'll be looking to go short. And if I think I would add on our 200 moving average, okay? 200 moving average should give us a really good idea of, or should add another layer of confluence, okay? Check on our daily. All right, so if you look at the daily time frame, the 200 moving average is somewhere around there, okay? Should hang around there because we'd like to see the market push up to the upside to that 90-80 level before tagging that zone, and of course giving us at least another 300 to 500 pip drop. Okay, GBP USD. Okay, let me just change this. Or we can, let me just change this because this is going to be. Okay, I didn't have any time to set this MT4 up, so none of my templates are here. Right, so looking at the GBP USD, this is on the H4. Right, so let's just start on the daily as normal. Okay, daily, I mean, it has been a landslide. Okay, we see some pretty significant zones at 98.86, and I do believe I'd start reevaluating the pound at 18.75. Okay, so from current market price to that zone is about another 200 pip decline. So they have to wait, watch, and see. Okay. In terms of structure, we have the market just tagging below this week, 29th of July, right? The low of the 29th of July. Okay. And it looks to, let me just drop down to the H1 so I can mark that off. Right. So this low. Okay. So this low, I believe this 2078, doesn't certainly look to be a solid zone because the market did break above it and actually close and then pull back inside. And so I'd like to see the market end off on a sort of a pin bar when it comes to these types of scenarios, right? Not a close, a full body candle, close above. So certainly we'd be looking at somewhere around previous week's high. Previous week's high is at 2209 for a level, right? Adding, let's say, our 200 moving average. Okay, because I am still short on the pound. I've been saying that, I think, since last year, I don't know when. So if you listen to all the webinars we've been doing, I've been saying I'm short pound, short pound, short pound, short euro, USD. Because there's really no point in trying to trade against the major trend at this point. And yeah, okay, 2209. Right? So this zone somewhere around here should be very interesting. Okay, like to see moving average bounce somewhere around there, introduce the longs on the upside, and then we start looking at any shorting opportunities from there. But as of now, I mean, the pound doesn't look too exciting. I don't want to lie. I mean, the setups after that huge drop haven't really been that sweet. We did take this one. You guys remember 2,500? I think that's 2,500. Yes. Okay. Got out prematurely on Friday. I think it was on a Friday on 120 plus pips, and the market continued to the downside. But obviously, you won't squeeze every pip out of the market, so it's pretty pointless to cry about that. And ever since then, I mean, the market has just been looking a bit shabby. And so we might have to reanalyze or take a look at the GBP USD a day or two from now. But that is my outlook at the moment. Okay. The USD CHF, USD CHF, has been on a very good run on the downside. We can see that spike. I think we did talk about this quite a while back. And if you look here, we even reached that 23.6 level, 423.6, because we're expecting the market to reach that 2,618% Fibonacci retracement. That was sort of like our total get out point, and that 1,618 was our first target, obviously. And now we got both. I'd like to see the market pull back in a bit, right, from this daily zone. This is July's low. I'd like to see the market pull back in a bit and retrace at least about 50% of this move before I get interested in anything. Okay, because if you are looking at this right now, it does look poised for a downward trend. Okay, but we haven't gotten any sort of like breakout on the downside. If you look closely, the market did test this level previously. Okay, this 97.13, it did test it, I think, in May before pulling up again, and looks to be doing more or less the same thing. So we could get a push to the upside again, right? However, I think a close below 9670 would change my mind that we're going up on the USD CHF. Okay. USD CAD, right? USD CAD. I mean, we've been looking at this USD CAD for quite a while. 30.48 had a really decent looking trade setup, although obviously I didn't take it. And the market has been in an upward trajectory. So has been, I think, on the Euro CAD before that massive drop. I think it was towards the end of last month or the previous month. Okay, so if we look closely, we have this bounce off this 200 moving average. Okay, this is the 800 rather on the daily time frame. And for me, I've been looking at it and really trying to figure out the actual breakout point, and it hasn't been giving me any clear signals, right? Because if you look at the first initial low, right, the swing low over here, 30.70, okay, that looked like somewhat of a breakout to the downside, okay, but obviously that bounce off the 800 EMA told us otherwise, okay. And at the 4 hour, if you guys remember, we isolated this 3181 zone as a previous market structure, and we'd like to see the market come back and test that. The market did do that, okay, last week. The market did come back, boom, and pushed up about 156 pips. But if you held on, obviously now you're only about 54 pips up. Now, what I like about this is that the market has come back into that zone again, a consolidation, which means obviously the guys who were long at this area probably on break even have been stopped out. So we are hoping for a push to the upside on the USD CAD, right? Probably to these swing highs at least, okay? This particular swing high over there. I think the zone or the level is 33398. So 33398. Like to see a bit of a push there to the upside. However, because we are looking at dollar rather weakness, we might see a bit of consolidation, perhaps on one of the major, let's say the USD CAD or the Euro USD, before we get those big moves. Okay, so it's just something that we need to sort of like keep in the back of our minds whilst trading. The GBP JPY, okay, GBP JPY. If you guys remember, we marked off, I think it was this level there. Okay, you can see that was a sell, right? And the market sort of like pushed to the upside, and I think we got stopped out on break even after we moved our stops to break even after 50 or so pips, and re-entry was at the close below that 3480 something zone. I'm not quite sure the actual number, but it was 3480 something. Okay, so that was a few weeks back, and as you can see now, the market has just been dropping to the downside. Also has clocked and reached 423.6. okay. Our initial target was this 31 or 1327 rather, okay, 1327, and secondary target was this swing low over here, which we can see that it has been demolished. Okay, we do see these fresh lows, or rather strong lows, around 2165, which is probably about 500 more pips. However, I'd like to see a pullback up to one of these zones, at least 3189, before we look at any long-term shorts on the GBP USD, on the GBP JPY rather. So that's like a 400 pip move or push to the upside to this low over here before we start executing more shorts on the GBP JPY, expecting at least one more push to that swing low, and then the market should and then if the market rather does play to what we anticipate, then we should make some money on the downside. Okay. All right, guys. Hope I'm not going too fast. Right, so looking at the Euro CAD, we were looking at a buy on the Euro CAD, even though this 47711 looked like some sort of a breakout to the downside. Okay. But I do believe we had a bounce at one of the levels. Okay, let me just go to the weekly rather. Okay, right, boom, there we go. So we had this break to the downside, market pulled back and closed above 477 again. Right? So it was the last year's low, which was 2018, the low of 2018, and I did think for a moment that we were going short. However, after looking at obviously the USD CAD at that particular time, it did give us a bit of an indication that we should have a bit of upward movement on the Euro CAD as well. So we see the market consolidate, break low, okay? And what was really suspicious, obviously, about this break to the downside is these three pins, which we looked at, and that's where we looked at our swing high. Okay, so we took our swing high through to this swing low of one of these spikes, which gave us the 1618% extension to 5338. Okay, so from where the current market price is to that level, it's about 490 pips. So we still have a long wait, right? But obviously we're going to be patient enough and wait for re-entries. We're looking at the swing high at 47.73. Market came in, retested at low, sort of like in the euro dollar, which then does give us a bit of confidence because this is more or less the same setup as the Euro USD today. and would like to see the market push to the upside. Okay, and we like to see the market push a bit more to the upside, and obviously once we reach those swing highs, then we start looking at those shorting opportunities. Okay, all right, guys. Any questions so far? Okay, any questions? Okay. All right, so no questions, no markets that you want us to take a look at. All right, so if you guys don't have any questions, we'll just briefly go through schedule just for the week. And this is just a reminder because I think I did put up something in the group. It's Tuesday as well as Thursday. That's what we actually do the advanced classes, right? So advanced sessions on Tuesday, so as well as on Thursday. Beginners is on Wednesday. Now, beginners, we're basically doing the same thing over and over again every single week. This is just to introduce the new guys who don't have a clue what trading is, and that session is specifically for them. So if you've attended one or two beginner sessions, there's no need for you to attend the third time because it's essentially the same thing, right? Just that we try and accommodate the new guys who come in every single week, so at least they don't come into one of these sessions and obviously they're just lost. So I know some of you guys haven't been able to really keep up, right? Most of you have, but some of you guys haven't been really be able to keep up. But what I will say is, obviously, with time and with attending more sessions, this will become sort of like second nature to you, and all the terms and terminology and the way that I look at things and all of that will be something that will be comfortable with you for you within the next even 2 or 3 weeks. Should be okay. So yeah, guys, that's just the announcement. I'll put up the new schedule. I have one of the guys just draw up the schedule and convert it into a PDF and drop it in the WhatsApp group so everyone can have a copy of that. And if there are any questions, I know I take some time to respond on WhatsApp sometimes, right? But eventually I do. Okay, eventually I do. And yeah, guys, if there's no other questions or if there's no market that you guys want us to take a look at, I shall see the advanced guys tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the evening.